And we're back in the room again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once more to the gift that keeps on giving, which has commonly come to be known as the Caiman Show. No exception to that rule today. I have a treat for you all. Joining me now, she is the Queen of Rave. I give you the one, the only Rozalla. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for a lovely introduction.
Hey, thank you for coming. It's great to see you. So, still rocking on, still going for it, still doing it, still active.
Still doing my thing. I'm so grateful. I mean, everybody's free was celebrated this year. It turned 30 years old.
Amazing. I'm
like, oh my gosh. I mean, I completely forgot because I just go out there, sing the song, get invited to perform. And I just think, I'm so full of gratitude for that. And my fans actually reminded me, everybody's free 30 years old. My jaw hit the floor.
That's incredible. Where does the time go, right?
Honestly, Caiman, where does the time go? It's just gone. Bam, bam.
Amazing. Yeah. Like I was saying to you off the air just now, I remember it first of all, right? I was, I'm not going to say how old I was because people would then guess how old I am, all right? But I was in a roller disco, roller skating, and that was one of the anthems that was on. And then a couple of years later, it was still on in the club scene, and it's still in the club scene now, I believe, as well. It's still doing the loop. And it just stay with me all night. You go back to a house party then, and then you're trying to get some sleep. For some reason, I could never get off to sleep. But you're trying your hardest, and you're there then, and you're just hearing in your head, everybody's free. I remember once after a party, we went to the services on the motorway, and I was drying my hands in the hand dryer, and I was convinced I could hear it. That was one of the tracks coming out of the hand dryer, apparently. So that was a good night. That was, right?
That song got you bad, then. It got you bad.
It did. That was brilliant. It's fantastic. Honestly, it hit me just at the right time, just as I was sort of coming out to school and hitting the club scene and the rave scene, and a brilliant anthem. I can still look back now and I can see where I was, who I was with, what I was wearing, which bouncer threw me out of the premises. It was good times.
That's brilliant.
Fantastic. Well, if we can, then let's take a step back a little further than that, first of all, then. Yeah. So, grew up in Zimbabwe?
Yes, I grew up in Zimbabwe. I was born in Zambia.
Yeah.
Grew up in Zimbabwe.
Excellent stuff. And how was that for you? How was your childhood over there? And at what point did you decide to get into music then?
Well, all my life, I wanted to be a singer from when I was in Zambia before we moved to Zimbabwe. I performed, my first performance was on a children's television program in Zambia. And that was my first time ever entering the TV studio, TV cameras, the lighting. I mean, this was like a magical world to me. And I thought, I want more of this,
Awesome.
But, I got the opportunity to shoot videos, to be in studios, in recording studios. And I guess, that was laying the ground for what was to come.
Yeah. And what age were you then?
I think I was about 10 or 11.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then we moved to Zimbabwe when I was about 14, 15. My father's Zimbabwean, my mom's Zambian. And that's when things began to really take off for me as I was older. I joined a band, and we were, doing cover songs from songs we were hearing from the radio, or songs that we enjoyed in the nightclubs, and going around the country and performing these cover songs. But there was a point where I thought, I love doing this, but I want to release material under the name of Rozalla, and original material. And, I'm a person that believes when you put something out there, life is like a mirror. You get what you give out. I didn't understand it then, but fast forward to as I'm older now, I look back and I think, what you put out, you get back.
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's so true.
Definitely. I've lived by that as well. Yeah. You only get out of it what you put into it, sort of thing. Yeah, that's true. That is as well. It's not just going to come to you, is it? You've got to do the groundwork, No,
you got to lay the groundwork. You got to think it. You got to, at least if the universe or something conspires to help you get there, if it doesn't get you right to the door, it will get you as, not too far from that door. And so, I was thinking I want to release material under my own name. And then there was a talent contest and I joined it in Zimbabwe, and I won all the 3 hits of this talent contest, and the prize
Incredible.
was a recording contract.
Oh, wow, was it? Yeah. Awesome. Tell us more then. So where did we go from there? So you won these talent contests, you won the recording contract. What happened next?
Yeah, so I went on, and I got some of my friends writing me some songs, the Risiki brothers, and you know, I recorded 3 or 4 singles in Zimbabwe. Label was called Grammar Records, and we released these songs, and I became, you know, my friends would all call me, oh, here comes a little starlet.
Fantastic.
And, you know, my songs have been played on the biggest radio stations in Zimbabwe. And I thought, wow, this is my dream. This is fantastic. And I had the opportunity to record videos, to be in that big TV studio again, you know, recording videos. And then I felt, okay, I can't go any further than I've already reached in Zimbabwe with this material. I need to throw the net wider. So, you know, there I am again with this. You think, you know, what you got, you give out. And oh my gosh, I was like, okay, here I am again. And lo and behold, there was a producer from the UK that was in Zimbabwe on holiday. And he watched one of my videos on the local TV. And he had a DJ friend that worked at the stations in Zimbabwe that was also a fan of mine as well. And he introduced us. And this guy's like, I own a studio, you know, recording studio in the UK. And Grammar Records believed in me. They bought me my first 2 or 3 air tickets to come to the UK. This was late 1988.
Right. Oh, okay.
And so I'm like, I look back and I think, when I think it, you know, somehow it helps me get there, or maybe almost near there, or if it doesn't, then it wasn't meant to be, sort of thing, you know. Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. So that's, I'm guessing that's the point then that where you decided to move over to the UK, is that right?
Yeah. It, you know, again, I you know, things started working out, and we were sending material around to try and get me a record deal from record labels. And you can imagine the rejection I got, as well as
being there.
You know, one of the worst things, I guess, you can get, you know, there were some labels going, wow, we love her voice, we want to sign her. And within that same breath, sorry, we can't sign her. Sorry, you know, forget about it. And like, oh my gosh, heartbreak.
Yeah, that's like, you know, it's like handing a starving individual a big lump of cheesecake and they'd say, look at this, but you're not having it, you know. It's like, come on.
No, we take it back. So I went through, yeah, I went through all that. So yeah.
So at what point did things start coming together then from there? So you dealt with rejection, so, by the sound of things, on more than one occasion from more than one record company. When did you get a call, and how persistent did you have to be in the build up to it?
Well, I got a call from the band of Gypsies, as they were known then. One of my cassettes fell on their laps. They loved my voice.
And why wouldn't they, right?
Thank you. Well, I don't know, but you know,
from the heart.
From the heart. And I got to meet Tim and Nigel, and you know, they were like, what style of music do you want to do? And I told them I want to do dance stuff, you know, and lyrics that were positive. And I began to work with Tim and Nigel, and they wrote for me, and you know, we all co-wrote together what is now known as Everybody's Free, and the whole album, which is titled Everybody's Free. And during that time, we got interest from a small independent label called Pulsate.
Okay.
And they loved what we were doing, and the rest is history.
Fantastic. You said it. The rest is history. All right. Fantastic. Awesome history at that. So Everybody's Free, obviously the album, and obviously the biggest single, of course. Talked about it earlier on. I remember it as I was just coming out of childhood, just becoming a young man, and everything. It's there still to this day. Whenever I hear it, my heart sort of goes from the 60 to 100 to like the 200 mark, you know, 200 BPMs. It's great. It's fantastic. It's nostalgic, but I think it still has a place currently as well. You know, it's still a great track as well.
Yeah,
go on, sorry.
I was just saying, I'm forever grateful for that.
No, absolutely. Hey, so are we, so we are forever grateful to you for it. It's an amazing track, and it just generates such great memories every time I hear it. But at that time, at the time of writing or the time of recording even, did you ever foresee it being the hit that it became?
No. Oh gosh, no, absolutely not. Because before we released Everybody's Free to Feel Good, I believe we released Faith in the Power of Love, and that went top 75. And I'm going, oh, but it should go higher because I think it's a good song. And
Yeah.
around clubs and promoting it and doing all my things. And then we released Faith in the Power of Love, and then that went top 15.
Awesome.
And then they released Everybody's Free, and then of course that just again, the rest is history. And then we released Faith in the Power of Love, and that went, I think, to number 11.
Oh, yeah. Excellent. That's cool as hell, Yeah. Fantastic. That's awesome.
That was incredible.
Brilliant stuff. Well, as I mentioned earlier on, I believe it was off the air, but we might have hit record. I can't quite remember, but I definitely mentioned earlier on, I often go on like a YouTube tangent and everything, all right, looking at stuff from the 80s, stuff from the 90s. And I just happened to be on here the other day, and I found myself in an 80s and 90s rabbit hole. And I came across a gig with yourself in Mexico City. I think it's from about 2019. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're probably right. Yeah, I went, it was about April 2019.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah. So first of all, you've still got it. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Secondly, that audience looked absolutely phenomenal. How were they?
They were incredible. I think there were about 6,000 or 7,000 of them, and it was in the Pepsi Arena in Mexico City. I'd never been to Mexico City in my entire life, so that in itself was such excitement for me that they wanted me to go and perform there. I thought, wow,
brilliant.
How do they know my songs? But it was incredible. I had fans that actually had the album. They wanted me to sign it for them. And I mean, they made me feel like a goddess. It was incredible. And there was a moment, Caiman, when I was performing. And I think before I got onto singing Everybody's Free, it was at the end of Are You Ready to Fly? All the lights went. It just, there was a power cut.
Oh, no.
And so there were a few lights, obviously, left and the diamond screens and complete power cut. So I managed to say to the audience, guys, I'll be back and try and make it like, whatever, because I didn't know what was going on. But just went, the microphone went, I couldn't sing, the music went. So I went, I'll be back. And I went backstage, and there was this whole panic going on.
I can imagine.
I'm going, oh my gosh, what's happening? And whilst I was backstage with my agent Kevin, we just heard the fans stamping their feet and clapping their hands and going, Rozalla, Rozalla. I mean, and my agent captured it on video and the sound and everything, and the tears just started pouring from my eyes.
Amazing.
It was incredible. And I they got the system back up and running, and I went out and I performed, and they just went crazy. And the next day I got so many messages from the Mexican fans saying, we did that because we don't want you to leave Mexico with a bad feeling. We want you to remember us. We're good. We want you to remember your time here has been wonderful. And that's why we were shouting your name, to show you our appreciation that you came. I mean, what more could you want?
That's awesome. Proper goosebump moment, right?
Proper goosebump. That is like, never forget ever for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you're gonna go back there sometime, do you think?
I would love to. I would love to, definitely.
It looked awesome. And you said they made you feel like a goddess. You are a goddess.
You say all the right things, my love.
I wrote the book on the right things. Nah. You're awesome. You're pretty awesome. So you're still doing bits and pieces at the moment. Let's take a look at the current day then. Let's go through lockdown first then. So obviously, I'm guessing you had some things booked up during that horrible year and a half that we lost. How was that period for you? And what'd you get up to? How'd you fill the time?
Well, I had when before the lockdown happened, it was 2020 in January. I had about 70 gigs in my diary in January.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's only January and I've got 70 gigs in the diary. And, obviously I was hoping there'd be more.
And still come in.
It was still early in the year. Come later on March, the lockdown stuff started happening. Everything just came to a grinding halt, understandably, for not only myself, for everyone. So obviously it was a surreal, scary moment because that's how I earn my living. But, I'm again this type of person. There's always worse things that are happening out there. And of course, something awful was happening. People were losing their lives. So, you just like get lemons and make lemonades out of it and that sort of thing. And Gary from the label I'm with said, look, we're recording an album. I'm working on an album. We've got, a few singles that were ready to be released. And we got lucky to have released 3 singles. We've just released the 3rd one, I Want You Back. And
awesome.
So we tried going as per normal as we could. It was difficult because there was no singles or remixes to send to DJs, to get the vote and stuff like that. And we had, radio stations that were just so supportive of me, that got it on their stations. And it's all thanks to Jonathan Dahl, I must say. He really worked it. And so we just tried to do things as we normally could, with the best intention that we had whilst we were all under lockdown.
Yeah. Did you have to do a lot of it remotely, whereas normally you'd meet up and get in studios and whatnot? Did anything change there, where you'd just be like doing it via, I don't know, via Zoom or?
A lot was done via Zoom, but like I say, fortunately 95% of the album is done. So we had 2 or 3 singles to be released, and those were already mixed and ready to go out. So, I guess these days you just press a button and go, yep, out there.
Brilliant. There we are. Excellent stuff. Excellent. So obviously we're out the lockdown now, we're on the other end. So 70 gigs gone. Have you started rebooking them now? Are you back on the road or?
Yeah, well, since, what they called Freedom Day, which was, I believe, June or July.
Yeah, I think it was June, yeah.
Yeah, I've had about 40 dates in the diary till up until December, and of course there's more been added in for 2022. But I thought to myself, that just sort of gave me hope, like, oh, they still want me.
Yeah, definitely. Of course we do.
But it's like it was just a scary period for me. And so yeah, I've been doing these dates and been going out there, and my agents are calling me and adding more dates in for 2022. And honestly, I try to anyway, just take one day at a time. That's all you can do, and keep doing what it is I'm doing and what anyone else out there is doing,
Definitely. Just keep moving forward. That's all we can do,
That's all we can do.
Play the cards that we're dealt.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Indeed. So any of those 40 dates over on my side of the bridge over in Wales at all?
Well, just today, and it's next year, I've got, I believe it's in, where is Carlisle?
Carlisle. Oh, that's up north Carlisle, isn't it? Yeah.
So I think so. I've got some dates that have just come in for there. 3 dates for June, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I believe. I don't know why I thought Carlisle is in Wales or something.
Maybe Cardiff, Carlisle.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, so
you got the car bit right.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully it's not too far from you. So yeah.
Yeah. Where can we find out about these dates anyway? Where can we hook up online and find all your information?
I regularly update my Instagram, which I run myself, and Facebook and Twitter. So I'm always updating my dates on there, and Spotify.
Excellent stuff.
Quite current and very good.
Brilliant stuff. Well, we'll find all your links and we'll drop them in about you somewhere. So for anyone watching, for anyone listening, you could just click and it'll take you straight there, and you can find out all you want to about the Queen of Rave, Rozalla.
Definitely.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming on. This has been a lovely chat for me. It's been awesome. All right. So thank you so much.
you.
Before I let you go, are there any plugs, any shout outs, any acknowledgements, or anything at all you want to chuck in there?
I want to say, guys, look out for my new album in 2022. It will be released sometime March, April. I've got one more track left to record, which I should be doing imminently. And I've got a new single out called I Want You Back. So your support is most appreciated.
Excellent stuff. I want you back. Well, I want you back too, all right? So when that's all done and dusted, give me a shout and we'll have a little talk about it again, if that's okay, because
definitely.
It's been fantastic. Rozalla, you were awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a genuine pleasure, and good luck with everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Rozalla on the Caiman Show. Woo!
Fantastic. Woo! Thank you.